In celebration of 100 years of UIL Texas high school football, the UIL, Dave Campbell's Texas football, and HEB teamed up to honor the best, brightest, and most unforgettable teams in the sport's illustrious history. With the help of some of the state's foremost experts and historians, we selected and honored 100 of the finest teams to grace the gridiron that give the game its one-of-a-kind flair. Throughout the course of the season, fans from across the state voted each week to help us select 10 of the greatest teams in UIL history. Today, we are proud to honor and recognize Marque High School and the 1995 Cougars team, who was selected by the fans as one of the top 10 greatest teams in high school football teams in UIL history. Joining us to celebrate, we have an unbelievable group here. We have the athletic director for Texas City ISD and former Lamarck coach, Leland Surovic, the superintendent for Texas City ISD, Dr. Melissa Duarte, former athletic director and head coach of the 1995 Lamarck Cougars, and current athletic director for Brazosport ISD, Alan Wooddell, TCISD board president and graduate from the Lamarck 1994 class, Nikisha Paul, TCISD assistant athletic director and 1995 Lamarck assistant athletic director, Tony Willis, former coaches of the 1995 Lamarck Cougars. We have Tony Heath, Larry Walker, Eric Wells, Mark Knipes, Scott Williams, Fritz Schmidt, and Dean Diatley. We have the principal for Lamarque High School, Ricky Nicholson, the current head football coach for the Lamarck Cougars, Sean Evans, and we have former players from the 1995 Lamarck Cougars, former player Ryan Silvertooth, and representing the presenting sponsor of the UIL 100 Greatest Teams, we have Joe Cassiano, the senior marketing manager for HEB in the Houston area. Now, Coach Wooddell, I'm going to ask you to come up to the podium first. Coach, we're super happy to have you here to be a part of this recognition. Tell us a little bit about what made that 1995 Lamarck Cougars team so special, and why do you believe they were selected by the fans as one of the greatest high school football teams in UIL history?
It was kind of the perfect storm year. First of all, we were extremely talented. As far as talent goes, God gave these kids an awful lot of talent, and they made the most of it. So we had a team that came together, the chemistry, they loved each other. They were very determined because we've been in state championship game the 2 previous years, and we've come out in second place there to Stevensville. So they were very determined to be the best they could be. They started an off-season boot camp, went right through it all the way, and they never looked back. It was just a chemistry of that. We also had a great coaching staff. Guys behind me and other people on the staff started a lineage of a lot of head coaching trees, a lot of championships, a lot of playoff spots. I think it'd be hard to find a coaching staff that was assembled that was any better than this one. The other thing, we had great administration, school board, community, teachers and staff that pulled together, and the community knew how important football was to our kids, to the community, and it bonded and brought a team. The team brought the community together, and it was a total team community effort, and the kids were not going to let them down.
Coach Wooddell, to be there in the same room with all of these people, not only folks from the administration, but also all former coaches, former players, what's it like to be together in that room with that group, and for you to kind of look back and see, man, you know, these were all the people that started with us back in 1995, and 25 years later, here we all are together in one room, and really a great influence on Texas high school football history. What's it like being in the same room with all those folks?
Well, I have to say they all look a little older now than they did. Even a player on the screen, Coach Silvertooth, Ryan there, we knew him when he had hair, and we go from there. But it's good. It's like a homecoming. You know, we have so many fond memories. We worked hard, and we played hard, and we had fun together. It was a family affair. The staff was a family. Our wives together, and everybody was a family affair. It's great to see these guys. It's a shame that we can't get together more often, but you know, we've all gone our separate ways and done different things. It's great, and we appreciate HEB and Texas Football Magazine, Dave Campbell, to bring us together again. It means a lot.
Well, Coach Wooddell, we're grateful to have you here as a part of this recognition. I'm going to call Coach Evans up next to the podium.
Yes, sir.
Coach Evans, we're grateful to have you here to be a part of this recognition and appreciate your help coordinating everybody to be here. Coach, tell us a little bit about the Coach Wooddell coaching tree and the impact that those former players and coaches have had on Texas high school football today.
Well, first, I'd like to thank HEB for this opportunity, for allowing us to be here, for naming Lamarque one of the top teams in the 100 years of the UIL in Texas high school football. But to answer your question, it's pretty remarkable. You know, I was on a Pearland football team that won 2 games out of 30. And then when Coach Heath brought the Lamarque way to Pearland, it completely changed. I was a young man that had played college football, so thought I knew a lot. And I was blessed to get hired by Coach Heath and then be coached how to coach from Marque Knights and Eric Wells. You know, it's just those guys took time to coach coaches. And that's the main reason that I'm here today. And to know that it all started back, you know, in Victoria with Coach Wooddell in the early 1980s, 1980s, and to see that, see what's come from it, and to know where we're working hard trying to get back. So Coach Silvertooth and I yesterday worked on doing the tree together, and just sitting there and just, you figure out how many people have been head coaches from here. And you say the same thing. I mean, some of the things that they were saying in the early 90s, yes, we can, yes, we will. That was taken to Pearland, it was taken to Dawson, taken to Santa Fe, taken to Brazosport, and it's back here in Lamarque. I mean, some of those things, if it's not broke, you don't fix it. And they said it in 1995, and we're still saying it today. We're trying to get back to the glory that they had.
Coach Evans, we're so grateful to have you here, and again, appreciate your help coordinating all of this. I'd like to call Coach Walker up next. Coach Walker, grateful to have you here and be a part of this celebration of the UIL 100 greatest teams and Lamarque High School. Coach Walker, that 1995 Lamarque offense was special. Tell us a little bit about what it was like to coach that group and why you feel that this team is most deserving of the top 10 greatest teams in UIL 100 greatest history.
Well, first of all, you know, we had a great coaching staff, offensive staff. Coach Wooddell had put together a good staff. The chemistry is just like we want chemistry with team. We had a chemistry with our coaching staff, both offensive and defensive coaching staff. And we were able to get along not only as coaches, but as men and family members and friends. So that cohesiveness there had a lot to do with our success.
And go ahead.
As far as the offense is concerned, again, I have to go, you know, it's not all about Larry Walker, but it's about that offensive staff who put in long hours to create the things that we needed to do, game planning, film study, coaching technique, those type of things with our offensive staff. And I think those guys need those kudos for that to create the offense that we did have.
And tell us, Coach Walker, what's it like to be in the same room with this group of people? You know, you know the impact that 1995 team had and the legacy that they left behind. Tell us what it's like for you just to be in the room with all those folks.
Well, it's awesome, really. When you think about it in the long run, you look back and you see a group of men that you've worked with for many years, and you come back and you're still the same. When you see them from time to time, everybody's still the same. We all love one another. It's the same old group. Like Coach Bell said, some of us got a little rounded like that. But other than that, we are just good family men. We love one another. We are just enjoy coaching. We enjoy each other. And it was a joy to work with these guys that sit behind me.
Coach Walker, it's a pleasure having you here, being a part of this recognition. Appreciate you sharing some of your thoughts and feedback. I'd like to call Coach Servik up to the podium, but in the meantime, I want to ask a question to Coach Eatley. Coach, tell us about this 1995 team, and obviously you're still coaching, and tell us about just the impact that it has and what it means to you to be a part of a team that is one of the greatest teams in UIL football history.
Well, I was an offensive coach. I was an assistant offensive line coach. And I think one of the greatest things about it was we had an unbelievable defense. And I think one of the things that doesn't get noticed a whole lot is we had a tremendous special teams. I think we had one of the best kickers in the state with Russell Bynum, and all of our, it's just a tribute to Coach Wooddell and the rest of the staff that we took a lot of pride in our special teams. And we knew we were going to win the defensive side of the ball, and we knew we were going to win the kicking game most of the time. And it really made it easy for the offensive coaches to design a plan. As Coach Wooddell said, we had really great players, and some of those kids went on to play college, but we had tremendous high school players. All of them were just fantastic and willing to work hard.
We appreciate you, Coach, and appreciate you carving out the time to be here with us today. Coach Cervic, I know you're still there and working as a part of the district, and tell us what type of legacy that 1995 Lamarque Cougars team left behind, and how do you believe that team and that historic season helped mold the rich tradition there at Lamarque High School today?
As you've already heard from the multiple coaches, Wooddell's legacy in '95 was to build a family amongst the coaching staff and a great coaching staff. And when you build a family like that with the men sitting behind you, everybody pulling the same direction as a leader, everybody's fighting for the same cause, pushing the kids in the same direction, and nobody wanted to be the weakest link on this side. And so, Wooddell started the '95 legacy probably a little earlier than that, of building a rich tradition with that, hiring the best men he could. And when you have 13 coaches or however many were on that staff pulling the same direction, not wanting to be the weakest link, and leading the team that way, it made the players feel the same way. For the players, they got the same work ethic, hard work, dedication, same strong beliefs. They didn't want to be the weak link either. And the staff led by example, which led into the players. You played, strong defense, championship defense. You were going to play smash mouth on offense, and you were going to win in the fourth quarter because you were going to outwork them, be in better shape with our 40-40s and everything else. And it just started a legacy. You can just follow it through different high schools around the area, and then you can see it here. It developed a tradition here at Lamarque, a winning tradition that was known, for decades, and all the head coaches that chimed off of it, and the winning tradition just kept on winning. Traditions were developed that are still lasting today, and Lamarque legacy is going to live on forever. I mean, this is a great opportunity. I appreciate HEB for all this and getting it set up, and appreciate everybody's vote, and appreciate Wooddell for hiring me. He was like a second father to me. Played under him, and he got to coach with him, and these are great men back here, great leaders. Learned everything from them, took a little bit from each one, and that's what made me today.
I love it. Thank you so much, Coach Cervic. I'd like to call Principal Nicholson up next, but while Principal Nicholson is walking up here, I want to introduce everybody to Joe Cassiano, who's the Senior Marketing Manager at HEB there in the Houston area. And HEB is our great presenting partner of the UIL 100 Greatest Teams. We're so thankful to have their support this year, and their support of, again, the rich tradition that is Texas high school football. Joe, tell us a little bit about why it was so important for HEB to team up with the UIL and Dave Campbell's Texas football to celebrate 100 years of UIL football, and why is connecting at the local level with communities like Lamarque a priority for HEB?
Thanks, Rob. Hey, at HEB, we've aimed to make our communities better for the past 115 years. As a key element of this goal, we invest in education each and every year. This year, we're honored to be a part of the UIL and Dave Campbell's celebration of 100 years of UIL football, one of the most revered traditions in Texas. UIL activities are where our students learn to push for both individual and team goals through successes and failures. This key time of development helps fill our community with responsible citizens. So on behalf of HEB, thank you to the 1995 Lamarque Cougars for representing the best of UIL football in Texas.
Thank you so much, Joe. Again, we're so grateful for the support of HEB and your team. Again, to be a part of this special celebration of UIL, 100 years of UIL football, and in a pandemic year like this, to have the support of partners. We couldn't do any of this without you guys. So grateful to have you here, Joe. Principal Nicholson, again, grateful to have you here. You get to see all of the great accomplishments there at Lamarque High School. Where does this rank as one of those accomplishments, and how special is this recognition for the Lamarque community?
First and foremost, to be recognized by the fans as a top 10 team in the history of UIL is extremely gratifying. Appearing in the state championship game 10 times, winning it for the first time in '95 with that awesome defense, with the coaches that we have behind us. I want to say more so than anything, having the community behind the coaches, having the community behind the players, this ranks up there. We are extremely happy to be recognized in this fashion, and all of the great things that were going on during that time. There's a lot of great men and women who stood beside our coaches, our players, and our community to make sure this type of recognition would happen. We didn't know that UIL would have this event one day, but we are extremely happy that we are here and recognized by our community, our staff, and UIL football.
Thank you so much, Principal Nicholson. We appreciate you being here as a part of this celebration. I'd like to call Dr. Duarte up to the podium. Dr. Duarte, thank you for carving out the time to be here as a part of this special recognition of Lamarque High School. Tell us a little bit about what it means to you to have the support of partners like HEB, who are committed to recognizing the achievements of Texas high schools and communities, not only at Lamarque, but across the state of Texas.
So what I can say is districts provide as many opportunities as possible to help their students excel in both academics and extracurricular activities. But it's our community and business partners like HEB who take education to the next level. They support districts by providing opportunities that the foundation school program may not be able to offer. And we're extremely proud of our students. And HEB has brought awareness of the great accomplishments we have attained across the state. So we want to thank you for celebrating our community and for celebrating our students.
Thank you so much, Dr. Duarte. So grateful to have you here as a part of this presentation. And on behalf of the UIL and Dave Campbell's Texas Football and HEB, to commemorate this special achievement, we'd like to present Lamarque with a couple things. First, we have this commemorative football that we'll be sending your way. I know there are a lot of offices there that this could sit in, so I'll have to let you guys fight on where this lives. But we have this football that we'd like to present to you. We have a commemorative certificate that we'll share with you to recognize Lamarque High School as a part of this UIL 100 Greatest Team celebration. And last but not least, from HEB, we have this $500 gift card that we'll be sending your way as well. So on behalf of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, the UIL, and HEB, congratulations again to the 1995 Lamarque Cougars for being named one of the top 10 greatest teams in UIL high school football history. We want to extend a special thank you to Joe Cassiano and the team at HEB for their support of the UIL 100 Greatest Teams. And again, thank you to everybody, all the former players, coaches, administrators from Lamarque High School that were here to join us as a part of this special celebration. Congratulations again.